सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नास्पृशा नरेषु नित्यं भक्ति उत्तमानन्दे देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वन्दनादेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसरि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो शिवाय कृष्ण कृष्णाय पुत्रे जगत नाम आचार्य पदाय निताय कृपदाय घोर तत्वदाय मुखं करोति मधु पमुलय गिरिं यत्कृपातं मन्ये श्रीगुरुदिनकारं परमं माधवं श्रीचैतन्यं। Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you for coming to this Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we're reading through Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, chapter 65, chapter entitled Lord Balaram Visits Vrindavan, text number 1. Please repeat after me. Sri Sukha Uvacha. Sri Sukha Uvacha. Balabhadra Kuru Shrestha. Balabhadra Kuru Shrestha. Bhagavan Ratam Astita. Bhagavan Ratam Astita. Shruhut Dikshur Utkantha. Shruhut Dikshur Utkantha. Prayayau Nanda Gokulam. Prayayau Nanda Gokulam. Sri Sukha Uvacha. Balabhadra Kuru Shrestha. Bhagavan Ratam Asita. Shruhut Dikshur Utkantaha. Prayayau Nanda Gokulam. Sri Sukha Uvacha. Balabhadra Kuru Shrestha. Bhagavan Ratam Asita. Shruhut Dikshur Utkantaha. Prayayau Nanda Gokulam. Sri Sukha Uvacha. Balabhadra Kuru Shrestha. Bhagavan Ratam Asita. Shruhut Dikshur Utkantaha. Prayayau Nanda Gokulam. Sri Sukha Uvacha. Balabhadra Kuru Shrestha. Bhagavan Ratam Asita. Shruhut Dikshur Utkantaha. Prayayau Nanda Gokulam. Sri Sukha Uvacha. Balabhadra Kuru Shrestha. Bhagavan Ratam Asita. Shruhut Dikshur Utkantaha. Prayayau Nanda Gokulam. Translation of our by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He said, translation, Sukadeva Goswami said, O best of the Purus, once Lord Balaram, eager to visit his well-wishing friends, mounted his chariot and traveled to Nanda Gokula. Purport. As Srila Jiva Goswami pointed out, Lord Balaram's journey to Sri Vrindavan is also described in Harivamsa, Vishnu Parva. Kasyachit ata kalasya svaitva gopeshu suhuridam jaga maiko gajam rama krishna yaunu mate sita. Remembering the deep friendship he once enjoyed with the cowherd folks, Lord Rama went alone to Braj, having taken Lord Krishna's permission. The simple residents of Vrindavan were aggrieved that Lord Krishna had gone to live elsewhere. So Lord Balaram went there to console them. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur addressed the questions of why Lord Krishna, the great ocean of pure love, did not also go to Braj. In explanation, the Acharyas provided the following two verses. Prayesha prema vyaktyata iktara ati vatsa lav prema vais vyasa cha krishnatam tvaptvana isyati iti mattaiva yadava prayatpotham hari katam Katau Rajaprema Prabhati Swa Leeladinatvam Yusha. The Yadus taught the Lord beloved girlfriends are famous for their pure aesthetic love, and his parents are extremely affectionate towards him. Lord Krishna is controlled by pure love. So if he goes to see them, how he be able to leave them and come back to us? Within this, with this in mind, the Yadus prevented Lord Hari from going, knowing that he becomes subservient to the pastimes in which he reciprocates the ever-increasing love of the inhabitants of Braj. Hare. Someone translation for please.
சுகதே கோஸ்வாமி கூறினார் பொருட்களின் சிறந்தவரை ஒரு சமயம் பகவான் பலராமன் தமது நண்பர்களுக்கான ஆவல் கொண்டு தமது தேசிய நந்த கோவிலுக்கு பிரயாணம் செய்தார். ஸ்ரீலா ஜீவ கோஸ்வாமி சுட்டிக்காட்டுவது போல் பகவான் பல ராமரின் ஸ்ரீ கிருஷ்ணாவரம் ஹரிவம்சம் விஷ்ணு பருவம் 16:46 வகுக்கப்படுகிறது. other Karnasya Samvatva Gopishu Sautram Sadamaiko Vajram Rama Krishna's Yanumate Ida தாம் ஒருமுறை இதயகுல மக்களுடன் ஆழ்ந்த நட்பை அனுபவித்ததை நினைத்து பகவான் பலராமர் பகவான் ஸ்ரீ கிருஷ்ணனிடம் அனுமதி பெற்று தனியாக பிருந்தாவனத்திற்கு சென்றார். பகவான் ஸ்ரீ கிருஷ்ணர் தேவர்களிடத்தில் சென்றிருந்ததை எண்ணி கவனமற்ற பிருந்தாவனவாசிகள் துயரத்தினாகினர். எனவே அவர்களை சமாதானப்படுத்த பலராமர் விரஜை சென்றார். பலராமருடன் தூய அன்பு கடலாகிய பகவான் ஸ்ரீ கிருஷ்ணரும் ஏன் விரஜைக்கு செல்லவில்லை என்று கேள்வி ஸ்ரீலா விஸ்வர் நாதர் சக்கரவர்த்தி தாக்கூர் இதற்கு விடையாக பின்வரும் இரு ஸ்லோகங்களை அளிக்கிறார். பிரியே யதி பிரேமாதி யதா சுதாராவ் அதிதி மதஸ் நோவா பிரேமவஸ்யஸ் சாம் கிருஷ்ணஸ்தாமன் ஜப் ஜப்வா நா கதம் யஸ்யதி இதி மத்வைவ யாதவ கிருத்யாபஸ்கரன் ஹரே கௌத வர்ஜ பிரேமா ஹரவாசி ஸ்வலீலா தினத்வம் யாதுக்கள் பின்வருமாறு எழுதினர். பகவானின் அன்பிற்கு பாத்திரமான அவருடைய காதலிகள் அவருடைய தூய அன்பிற்கு புகழ் பெற்றவர்களாகும். மேலும் பகவானின் பெற்றோர்களும் அவரிடம் அளவுக்கு அதிகமான அன்பு கொண்டுள்ளனர். பகவான் ஸ்ரீ கிருஷ்ணர் தூய அன்புக்கு கட்டுப்பட்டவராவார். எனவே அவர்களை காண சென்றால் அவரால் அவர்களை எப்படி எங்களை திருப்புவாராய் திரும்பி வர இயலும். இவ்வாறாக விரஜவாசிகளுடன் அன்பு பரிமாற்றம் கொள்ளும் நிலைகளை அவர் கீழ்ப்படிந்து விடுவார். இதையறிந்த யாதவர்கள் பகவான் அருகே அங்கு செல்ல மண் கருத்து விட்டனர்.
So this chapter is about Lord Balaram visiting Vrindavan. So you can imagine Krishna being away from Vrindavan. The situation in Vrindavan was very, very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Here the Vrajavasis, Nanda Maharaj, Gopi, Gopal, they can't stop thinking about Krishna. And Krishna in Dwarka, he can't stop thinking about the gopis and Nanda Maharaj in Yashoda. So much so that it is described that every night when Krishna goes to rest, every night when he sleeps, in his dreams he will be chanting the names of the gopis, the gopas, Nanda Maharaj. Not even that, he will even chant the names of the cows. That is Braj. That is how much separation, so much pain. And out of very great compassion, out of great compassion, Krishna arranges. He arranges sometimes. He sent Akrur. There's one chapter. He sends Akrur, Tulsi, Nanda, Maharaj, and then another time he arranges for Uddhava to go and console them. And here in this chapter we hear about Balaram going. So Balaram is not very much described anywhere, but Balaram also was going through a lot of pains of separation from being away from Vrindavan. So one day, with the permission of Krishna, Balaram decided just to go. He just went on his journey and he decided to go there. So when Balaram arrived in Vrindavan, it is like the life came back to the lives of the gopis and the Gopals. They saw Balaram. Balaram is back. We all greeted him. They hugged him. And he, out of love and affection, also he just gave them so much respect. He bowed down to the feet of those who are elder than him and who are equal to him. He hugged them. And to those who are younger to him, they gave him respects. And Balaram's character is when he is happy, he will laugh. He will laugh like that because he's big size. So when he was happy, he was just laughing and laughing. And laughing. So like that he came, and he took respects from all the gopis and the gopas, and then finally he made his way to the house of Nanda Maharaj. And when he met Nanda Maharaj, first thing he did was he fell at their feet. He fell at their feet. And it is described here that Nanda and Yashoda took Balaram and got him to sit on their lap as if he was still a Chinna Paiya, still small boy. This is my son. My son has come back to see me. Can you imagine? Balaram is huge, big size. And this poor mother, they were, no, you come sit here. I want to stroke, I want to. So they were just crying out of separation for Krishna. When they saw Balaram, they were having tears of joy. So they were bathing Balaram in the tears of their joy, you know, and they were asking Balaram, how is your younger brother Krishna? Uh, how is his wife, his family? They were asking him like that. Oh, protector of the Brajavasis, how is he? Lord Balaram then prayed. Uh, oh Rama, all our relatives doing well, and Rama, do all of them with your wives and children still remember us? They were talking to them. They are thinking in their mind, oh, Krishna has forgotten us. They are now thinking, they are so humble and they don't remember. So they were just asking like that. No? It is our great fortune that sinful Kamsa has been killed and dear relatives free. And it is our good fortune that our relatives have killed and defeated their enemies and found complete security in a great fortress that is Dwarka. So like that they were asking, Balaram. And in other books written by the Acharyas, they describe the situation in Vrindavan. It was so pitiful, very, very pitiful. In what sense? The day Krishna left, on Apollo's chariot, everybody was there. Everybody from Brajadam was there. The gopis, the gopas, the government, Nanda Maharaj, all the family members, the mountains, everybody was there. And when the chariot of Guru left, he left a dust cloud because the sand in Vrindavan is dusty. So when a chariot passes through, the dust would be raised. So when the dust was raised, the dust fell on their body. from that day, they never paid. Krishna left when he was about 11 years old, around 12. And he was away for many, many years from that day, he never paid. So is it that they are dirty? Is it they are tamasic? No, it's not that. They did not pay because the scent of Krishna was in the dust, and that dust was lying on their body. So every day they wake up, they did not wait because they wanted to smell the scent of Krishna. The smell reminded them of Krishna. Everything in Gokul stopped. Nobody cooks. Nobody takes care of their house. The house is full of cobwebs. Everybody is just sitting down crying, especially Yashoda. A river has been formed because of her tears. People come, they say, where is Nanda Maharaj house? They say, just follow this river. So they will just follow. Which place for a river to come where the water coming from? We're going uphill. We're not going downhill, we're going uphill. Oh, there must be some water source there. When they reach there, they see that, the mother Yashoda just crying and crying and crying. So beautiful. And it is described also that everybody in Vrindavan was so thin and so emaciated that nobody could recognize them. The only reason why they survive is because in nearby village in Rajasthan, another neighboring uh, village, every few days they will come because they know these people that they are so much in grief. They stop eating altogether. So these village people from the next village what they'll come is every day they'll cook chapati. Every 3, 4 days they'll come and they will force them to eat. They'll force them. They force Nanda Maharaj to eat. Force Mother Yashoda to eat. The Gopas, the Gopis, the only ones that was still trying to maintain themselves with the Gopis because the Gopis were thinking Krishna will come back. We must be presentable for Krishna. We live only for Krishna. The only one that a bit okay, like they still they still eat something, they still take care of themselves. Why? Because they're thinking Krishna, we are living only for Krishna. Our body is dedicated to Krishna. We are not living for any other reason. So like that, the situation was so beautiful. And when Balaram came, he did not see this. This is all external. Balaram came, he just saw Krishna Prema, he just saw pure love. That's why he was just laughing. Ah, he was just so happy. I miss my family. I'm back with my family back. Even though Balaram is the son of Mother Rohini and Vasudeva, but Nanda Maharaj considered him his son. He is my son. You and Krishna together cannot separate. You are like brothers. So you are my son, please. So like that, Balaram came and he went to get respect from all the inhabitants of Gokul. Like that, he took some rest. And then after when he woke up, all the common men came. The gopis also came. The gopis conversation with Balaram is very interesting. Okay. So this is the gopis conversation. I have bit more interesting simply because the level of separation and the mix of emotion within the gopis is very interesting. Okay, so the gopis asked Balaram, does he remember his family members, especially his father and mother? Do you think he will ever come back even once to see his mother? And does mighty arm Krishna remember the service we always did for him? Very interesting. They use Nanda Maharaj to give guilty feeling. You, what kind of person are you? You don't come and see your father and mother also. What's wrong with you? Then only they will mention themselves. See how humble they are. Very, very, very ladylike. For Krishna's sake, O descendant of of Dasaratha, Dasaraha, we abandon our mothers, fathers, brothers, husbands, children, sister, even though these family relations are difficult to give up. But now, O Lord, the same Krishna has suddenly abandoned us and gone away, breaking off all affectionate ties with us. And yet, how could any woman fail to trust his promise? So they are saying here that Krishna, uh, because of his attractiveness, his charm, his smile, we have given up everything for him. For especially village women, they don't have much. They depend on their family, they take care of them. In terms of wealth, they have nothing. What they have is their name, a good name, right? That is the last thing a woman has. Men, on the other hand, if their reputation is bad, their value goes up. Women are not like that. Women, their only wealth is their good reputation. So the Gopi is saying here, we give all that up for Krishna. We give all that up for Krishna. Now Krishna is in the association of a very high level women in Dwarka, queens of Dwarka. They are not like us, very decent, so very highly intelligent women. They're saying like this. So they are saying that how can these women not trust this charming Krishna? He is so charming, he can charm anybody with his sweet words and all that. He will charm us, he will charm them. What chance these women have? Like we got no chance, these women also got no chance. They are saying like that. Then they continue. How can intelligent city women possibly trust the word of one whose heart is so unsteady and who is so ungrateful? Yeah, I agree. Now I agree already. They must believe him because he speaks so wonderfully and also because his beautiful smiling glance arouses their lust. So these gopis are saying now that these women in Dwarka, how can they trust him? Because he speaks so wonderfully. He's an expert in saying the right word at the right time and the right way. And if that don't work, he will smile in such a way that he will just steal their heart. This is Krishna. Why bother talking about him, dear gopis? One Prajola, six Prajola. Why do you bother talking about him? Huh? Please talk of something else. If he passes his time without us, then we shall similarly pass our time without him. I agree. That's a Prajola is one. Everybody knows you are not. You just saying only. You cannot forget it. While speaking these words, the young coward woman remembered Lord Sauli's laughter, his pleasing conversation with them, his attractive glance, his style of walking, and his loving embrace. Thus they began to cry. Okay. So these girls, they were talking like that, and they were scolding Krishna while still, remembering him. They were saying things like, how can anybody trust this Krishna? Krishna treats people very badly. He treats them very badly. Just look at this Putana. Look at that example. You see, innocent woman came to give her milk to this baby. You see, at 6 years old, huh? 6 months old, 6 months old, 6 months old, he took the life of this person. What kind of person is giving this kind of excuses? So they were showing aesthetic signs of separation. So this is called Vipralapa Seva. These Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they are our Gaudiya Vaishnava specialty. Their specialty, not found anywhere else in any other sampradaya, any other religion, is the science of worshipping Krishna in separation. The Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they are especially unique because they are following the line of the gopis. the gopis' mood is they have such intense love for Krishna in separation only. Separation. So there's English saying, the distance make the heart grow fonder. This is the science. The science of that phrase is called Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 10. It's called Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 10. Vipralapa Seva, serving separation from Supreme Lord. So like that, Balaram was just drinking in the nectar of this pure Krishna flame. And out of compassion, he gave them some messages from Krishna, not mentioning what he said, but these messages were all very, very confidential. The purport he said that it's very confidential, in the sense that he is for every single one of the gopis. The message that Balaram brought for the gopis, they are for that is like for you, Divagaran, for you, Santosh Prabhu, for you, Nagesh Prabhu, for you. It's like very personal. So he spoke to them, you know. So like that, he tried to console them. And at that time also, what happened was there were some gopis that knew Krishna but were too young. But this a few years has passed. Now they've grown up already. So they give association to Balaram. So Balaram, to please them, he decided to stay in Vrindavan for 2 months. Usually he just come and go, few days, few weeks, and then go. He decided to stay there for 2 months. Why? Because he wanted to console the gopis. So there was a group of gopis that never had the association of Krishna. So they took advantage of having association with Balaram. Since Balaram is here, why you want? So these young gopis all they started to enjoy Lord Balaram's association, his company. So to make his enjoyment even more, what happened was the daughter of Varuna, the god of the sea, her name is Varuni. So she's the lady in charge of a kind of liquor called Varuni also. You go to India, you can buy, there's a many brands of Varunis there. So she appeared on the scene, and this Varuni comes from the scents of trees. So she came there, she made this Varuni flow from the trees so that the scent is a very sweet scent, very sweet, yes, tasting drink. It flows through the whole of Vrindavan. So when Balaram smelled it, he said, very nice, let's go get this drink, natural drink. So he started to drink and he became a bit drunk, and he was enjoying with this. So like that, one day he was enjoying this girls and he wanted to take a dip in the Yamuna. So he called for Yamuna to come here. He didn't want to go to her. He said, you come here. Yamuna just ignored him. Lord Balaram, she ignored him. Why? Because she thought, this is drunk. Why I want to come? See, the problem with these devas is because of opulence, they become a bit of like, they become, no, deva, no, I don't have to. They have to. She forgot that this is the supreme personality of Godhead. This is your immediate boss, CEO in charge of all of creation. He's calling you. You are an employee. CEO is calling you, better go. She forgot. So Balaram got very angry. He says, oh, you don't want to come, huh? Okay, no problem. Balaram took his plow. He always goes around with either his plow or his gada. So at that time he had his plow with him. So he used his plow to drag Yamuna. So when he dragged Yamuna, I don't know how the land moved. Because of that incident, now Yamuna has many what you call side streams. It's like a tear. When you pull the straw and the straw the tear is not. So this is like it's pulling the land. And regular, you pull the bank. Now throughout the whole of Yamuna there is these small streams. Not really rivers, but small streams. It looks like tears in a cloth. That tears appeared because of this incident. So it is described when Balaram started doing this, Yamuna got frightened and he immediately came back and Balaram said, please forgive me, I forgot, you're the supreme personality of God. The whole Brahman is sitting on your head. I forgot that, please forgive me. So he said, okay, okay, never mind. I did my job when you are here. I think I'm going to take my bath. So after she took bath, what happened was she arranged for Lakshmi Devi to come and present Lord Balaram nice clothes, nice jewelry, nice crown, nice earrings, everything. Easy. So while he was taking bath or not, the Gandharvas were playing music. They are both enjoying themselves. Let us help me. So this is how Balaram is he came to Vrindavan, and this is how he tried to console the Brajavas. So this is where the chapter ends. For a little bit more time. Today is the disappearance day of Jayadev Goswami. So not many things are known about Jayadev. This morning I was listening to a lecture by Indradumna Maharaj. Just about I think about yesterday he gave the class on YouTube. Yesterday he gave the class, and he was talking about the jewel among poets, and that is Jayadev Goswami. So this Jayadev Goswami was born in Orissa, in a village in Orissa, and at a very young age, the deities of Radha Madhava found him. You have to understand, if you go to Bengal, the deities of Radha Krishna, they do whatever they like, They go wherever they want, they do whatever they like. No doubt they the deity form, they might be metal, they might be wood, they might be stone, but they do what they like on. They go wherever they want. A very good example is that Jagannath deities, that came to your house and then you went to the house of what Mataji? No, Jagannath deity. Oh, okay. Oh, Radho is it. No, I'm talking about that. Is it that one of your relation bought a Jagannath deity? He wanted to put it in a glass. Then the mother don't know why came and gave it to your Prabhu to Kavini Mai. Devayani Mataji, that's what I want. That's what I was asking. See, Jagannath didn't want to live his life in a glass. This person bought for decoration purposes. He wanted to put that plastic enclosure. You see, not this they go wherever they want. So this Jayadev, at a very young age, 10 years old, these deities came to him. So everybody knew this is one of the signs that you are very highly elevated. When deities come to you, that means you have some special thing for you. You have some really nice bhakti. That the deities want to taste your bhakti. The deities came. So from a very young age, at the age of 10 years old, he was doing deity worship, Radha Madhava deities. So like this, he was very intelligent, very highly educated. He came to Navadip Dham. At that time, Navadip Dham was like the education center around the world. Actually, like 500 years ago, Navadip Dham was the education center of the world. People used to come from all over the world to study there. It was all the schools were there, the universities were all there. Everything, you name it, astrology, mathematics, science, this, that, everything, philosophy, everything was there. It was the center. So Jayadev went there, he studied all subjects that got to do with the Brahminical culture. So he ended up staying there. He ended up staying there in Navadip. And one day, as a pastime, one day, there was a king of Bengal. His name was Lakshmana Sena. He was a very highly elevated Vaishnava king. So one day this king went to one festival in Bengal, and there were Vaishnavas. They were singing bhajans there, and he noticed that these Vaishnavas who were singing, they were playing instruments. They were singing one bhajan with their eyes closed, and they were going like this, and tears were coming in their eyes. So he saw that he got very captivated. So he decided, let me listen to this bhajan. What is this bhajan about? They are so ecstatic. They're singing and they're crying, tears coming in their eyes. And he was listening and listening and listening, and he was so touched by the bhajan. Then he turned to his minister and he said, "My dear Prime Minister, who wrote such wonderful bhajans about Krishna? Who wrote this?" So the Prime Minister said, "My dear sir, this bhajan was written by a great sage by the name of Jayadev, and he lives in your kingdom." I said, "Oh, he lives in my kingdom. Can you please ask him to come and see me? I want to get his darshan." So this Prime Minister said, "My dear sir, this Jayadev and many like him, they are renunciates, they are mendicants. They are not accustomed to associating with people with opulence like yourself in rich businessmen. They are very renounced. So I doubt you want me to ask, I can ask, but I can say if you were to refuse, you will not come." So this Lakshmana Sena, he was so fixated on the budget. Now, this budget came from a very, very pure heart. I must somehow get darshan of this Jayadev. I must somehow get. So one day, one night, he just dressed as a common man. He put some normal clothes and he decided just to go. And he traveled he was quite far. Even though his kingdom was quite far from where he was staying. He traveled and he went to see this Jayadev, got darshan. He took dust from his lotus feet and worshipped him. Then after some time he revealed to Jayadev, "I'm actually the king here. I heard your bhajan, it is so wonderful. Where did this where did it come from?" Then this Jayadev revealed and said, "I wrote a book of bhajans called Gita Govinda. Gita Govinda. And this Gita Govinda is only meant for those who are highly elevated Vaishnava devotees, not meant for us. People like us or no, your Kokamakan devotees are not meant for us. But in this book, Gita Govinda, there is one song that everybody can sing. And that song is the Dasa Avataram Stotra. It's in our Vaishnava song. That's the only song in that book that we can all sing. And that is to glorify the Dasa Avataram. That's the only song from that book. So this king, Lakshmana Sena said that, "My dear sage, please, come and live in my palace. I'll give you whatever you want, whatever assistance, whatever you please come because you are very, very far away. I want to get your darshan every day." So this Jayadev said, "My dear king, I'm a renunciate, I'm a mendicant." And he looked around him, he was just a normal heart, there was nothing inside. There was a mendicant, it's nothing, he just room, clothes and just food. That's it. He looked around him and said, "Actually, I have all that I need." So the king said, "Huh? You looked around, there's nothing there. It was just one hut. He got some clothes on. He got, people give him some food to eat, and he has, and that's it. Lah. So I have all I want." So this king very indulgent. See, this is why you must be a Vaishnava. Hare Krishna Prabhu. This is why you must become a Vaishnava. So this king very intelligently, he said that, "My dear sage, please remember you are a sadhu. You are a sadhu. It is what it means to say here is that it is your duty to sadhu means to cut. The Brahmana's duty is to cut the ties of illusion from everybody's heart. It is your duty. You are a sadhu. So I am a person who is engulfed in opulence and all kinds of mundane matters. I need the association of people like you so that my heart can be purified. So if I don't have association of people like you, what chance do I have?" So this child, already, he's checkmate already. This king, very intelligent king, he said, "Yes, you're right. I cannot deny this. I have to fulfill my duty as a Brahmana. I must cut the ropes of illusion from your heart." Then the king said, "I have a forest of malati flowers. You come, please stay there. You can do whatever you want there. You want small hut, you want big opulent, you want temple, whatever you want, I'll do. Please come. Because this forest is just next to my palace. Please come and stay there. So what this king did was, until today, we go to this place, there is a temple, rather Krishna temple there. This king built a small temple for the deities of Jayadev there. So the temple is still there. Now it's no more small temple, now it's a big temple, huge temple in Bengal. So like this he came and he lived there in a hut, still that he lived here in a hut, there also he lived in a hut. He's a renunciate. He don't want to be all these the Talavali la, pipers la, these pers la, everything. Talavali la, I don't know, very, very simple like this heart. When the sun is out, I'll do my work. When the sun is out, I sleep. Finish, I chant my round. That's it, finish. Very simple like. So one day what happened was, this King Lakshmana Sena asked Jayadev to go and visit his very good friend, King of Orissa in Jagannath Puri. Go and visit. Okay, this is out of the report. So he went there. Don't know what happened. The king of Orissa said, "You stay in Jagannath Puri, you don't go back. You stay here." So he ended up staying there. He ended up staying there, and this king of Orissa took care of him very, very nicely. One day, what happened? There was a Brahmana from South India. He came to Jagannath Puri to ask from Lord Jagannath for what else? Please give me children. I want children. Me and my wife been trying for children for so many years. We don't have children. My dear Lord, if you give me a child, I promise you I'll give the child to you. So the South Indian Brahmana said this. So shortly after that, this Brahmana and his wife had a beautiful daughter by the name of Padmavati. At the age of 12 years old, this Brahmana came back to Jagannath Puri from South India and he brought his daughter in front of the deity of Lord Jagannath and said, "My dear Lord, I promise you that I'll give you my daughter. Here is my daughter." So from within his heart, Lord Jagannath spoke to him. He says, "My dear Brahmana, I'm very, very glad that you brought your beautiful daughter Padmavati here. Please go now to see my very affectionate devotee by the name of Jayadev Goswami. He's here in Jagannath Puri. You please go and see him. You please give your daughter to him. And you please tell him that this is my instruction." So this Brahmana went there. He went to see Jayadev. And he says, "My dear Lord, I want to give my daughter to you." So this Jayadev was shocked, Huh? He said, "My dear sir, I'm a renunciate. I am not a suitable person for your daughter. Your daughter is so young. I don't have money. I don't have anything. I have nothing." Then the Brahma said, "My dear Lord, my dear sir, Lord Jagannath himself told me to tell you to give my daughter to you. So you please accept this." The father just got up and walked out. The daughter was there. So Jayadev looked at her and says, "My dear girl, I'm not suitable for you. Why do you want to be with me? It's not right." So this Padmavati, you know what she said? She said, "My dear Lord, my life is dedicated to you already. My life mission is to serve you only. So whether you want to accept me or not, I am here." So he said, "To do the right thing, I must get married. I cannot be doing this." So he got married to the girl. So from a renunciate, he became a grihastha. So like this, he stayed in Jagannath Puri. So one day there was a pastime. He was writing. Uh, he wrote a lot of books. He wrote a lot of books. So he was writing, and then while he was writing, he got jammed. There was one doubt in his mind. It is a fact that Krishna, he surrenders himself to the gopis, but in his mind he's saying Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. How can he surrender to anyone? This doubt comes. So he was trying to struggling. Then one day he decided to say, "Okay, I don't want to think of this anymore. I'm going to go take my bath." So he told his wife, Padmavati, "I'm going to go and take my bath, and when I come back, you please, we'll have lunch. So he left. So when he left, shortly after he left, apparently Krishna came as him. Krishna, disguised as himself, came in the door and told his Padmavati, so what's for lunch? She said, no, I'm still cooking. You go do your work. I will call you when it's done. So this Krishna, in the form of Jayadev, went to the table where this Jayadev had his writing and all that. In that, Krishna wrote that, a poem. He wrote that. He wrote. And then after that, he said, lunch, is it ready? Yes, ready. Krishna sat down and with his Padmavati, and then he left. Within 10 minutes, this real Jayadev came. And he said, hey, where's lunch? The wife looked at him and said, what are you talking about? You just had lunch. You just left 10 minutes ago. And then you came back and you're asking me lunch. What is this? He said, huh? I just went to take bath. I didn't take lunch. From there, I came here only. Then he said, no. You came in just now. You asked me what's for lunch. I said, still cooking. You go do your work. You went, you wrote something. You came, you sat down there, and then you left. Then this Jayadev was thinking, how can this be? And he said, you wrote something, huh? And he went to see. And that where he was there, he wrote a poem saying there that, cut a long story short, huh? Krishna says there that, just as Cupid is surrendered to the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, so as I am surrendered to her in a way that I can only appease my heart by taking the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani and putting on my head. Either I put her leg on my head or I put my head at her feet. I am eternally surrendered to the pure love of Srimati Radharani. So that was the poem there. And this poem is there in Gita Govinda, this book. This book is actually meant to be read by only those who are very, very highly elevated, not for us. But anyway, we all, we get such information on it. It's not correct.
But what has that got to do with but how it is? The point is that the Krishna wrote that he wants to surrender to Radharani. How to do it?
The pastime, there's no relation. She got darshan of Krishna. She got darshan of Krishna. She is not an ordinary girl. That's only Krishna came personally to take food from her, took lunch, and went away, and left a gift for Jayadev. So that is the pastime. There might be, but I don't know. Indra Tugna Maharaj did not talk about anything that we can't do. What is the deep connection, the connection, and all that. Like this now we read in the WhatsApp, the past life of Karna. Why is he the way he is? So that is the connection. That here I don't know. So this is the story of Jayadev Om Swami. Today this is different. Sorry. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. How's the going? It is going on okay, lah. The reason why my name is not in the list for this one is